This is one of the most confounding medical stories I've ever heard. And that's saying a lot because there are many. So doctors in Sydney ran a completely routine blood test on this 9-year-old transplant patient, and the results showed that her blood type had completely changed. And that was just the beginning. In 2008, Demi-Lee Brennan came into the hospital with fulminant liver failure and received a successful liver transplant from a deceased male donor. She was O negative, her donor was O positive. But then 9 months later, something weird happened. Her blood type changed to O positive. She was becoming her donor, but this transition was dangerous. Demi-Lee developed severe intravascular hemolysis, meaning her body was destroying its own blood cells. Her doctors tried everything, multiple blood transfusions, steroids, immunosuppressants, and nothing worked. What they were seeing had never been documented before: partial chimerism. Her body and the donor cells were basically battling it out for control, and Demi-Lee was caught in the crossfire. So the doctors made a completely counterintuitive decision. They gradually stopped all of her immunosuppressive therapy. Miraculously, the hemolysis stopped and Demi-Lee was able to go home. Then, at a routine checkup 17 months later, testing revealed that every single blood cell in her body was from her donor. Here's what doctors think happened. The liver is a reservoir for stem cells that make all types of blood cells. When Demi-Lee received her transplant, her immune system was already weakened from the hepatitis. A massive wave of donor stem cells migrated to her bone marrow and was able to take over, like a bone marrow transplant that she never asked for. But this caused her to be in a state of partial chimerism. In other words, she had 2 different immune systems producing 2 different kinds of blood types. Eventually, the donor system won over and Demi-Lee's entire blood cell system was replaced by the donor. And that saved her life because now her body didn't view the donor liver as foreign anymore because her entire immune system was the donor. This is the only known case of complete hematopoietic chimerism. Demi-Lee received no chemo, no radiation, nothing to destroy her bone marrow. And that is usually what you need to do in order to receive a successful bone marrow transplant. Her donor cells just spontaneously colonized her bone marrow and replaced everything. The irony here is that what doctors thought was harming her was actually what saved her. The immunosuppressants were what was preventing her full chimerism transformation. Demi-Lee essentially received a bone marrow transplant along with her liver, a 2-for-1, if you will, achieving something that transplant medicine has spent decades trying to achieve deliberately: operational tolerance, an ability to maintain an organ transplant without immunosuppressive drugs. If you like science worth sharing like this, then follow us everywhere at Today Learn Science at TIL Science.